Why is he out? Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, when
I think that's either yes or no. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, as soon as saw him, she
Mr.
pointed the taser at him. He was running and pointed the taser.
I didn't ask that, Ms. Gaines. I did not ask that. Was the taser deployed?
Yes, it was.
Did an officer have to draw their weapon?
I did not see that. I could not see that on the video. Again, Your Honor, he's 20 years old. He has no prior history on an unarmed young man.
I mean, Ms. Gaines, I don't get it.
This guy named Brett came to court after being accused of attacking two police officers. He allegedly punched them, twisted one officer's finger, and hurt him. On top of that, he's also accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend. This case is really frustrating because he seems like a serious threat to others. Surprisingly, his lawyer is working extra hard to keep him out of jail, almost like she's trying to twist the facts to help him. Now, Judge Simpson has to decide, should someone like Brett get another chance, or should he stay in jail so he can't harm anyone else? Let's find out what happens.
As to bond?
Your Honor, we are just looking to address the condition of bond that requires that Mr. Hopkins be on house arrest. Prior to this matter, Mr. Hopkins was employed as a result of having the tether plate. No longer able to, in this case, he was no longer able to maintain that employment. He is hoping to be able to get new employment and is asking that the court consider a no go-to order, a no contact order, or anything of that nature. My client, Mr. Hopkins, also recently registered for the cybersecurity program. Text me that information. I tried to send the confirmation to Ms. Barroso so that she would be able to see it. It's my understanding that the classes are majority online, but that would be the only place that he would have to come in Washtenaw County. Otherwise, he's just asking for some order that would allow him to work and just not have that kind of contact.
Response.
Your Honor, the bond in this case was set at $5,000 cash or surety when we requested a $50,000 bond. In this case, the people are uncomfortable with him being out. This was an event or a series of events that occurred where the defendant assaulted the victim at not one but two locations. An eyewitness saw the defendant shove the victim while near the police station. The police attempted to make contact with the defendant, and then he picked up, as a result of him resisting, picked up 5 counts of R&O against 4 different officers. One of those 5 counts is an R&O causing injury that was so severe that the officer is actually seeking specialized medical treatment from an orthopedic surgeon. At this point, this is a 9.
So hold on. There was a DV and then an officer injured. Why is he out?
Your Honor, if I could address.
Hold on. I'll let Ms. Barroso finish and then you can address it. I just had an intermediate question. Go ahead.
So at this point, I don't think that a modification of bond removing him from being on house arrest is appropriate. We objected to a nominal bond of $5,000 when it was originally granted. At this point, I don't think that any further reduction is appropriate.
Okay.
A couple of things. First of all, Mr. Hopkins is here with his father. He is 20 years old. He has no prior criminal history. In reviewing the police report and the video, even the report references that the altercation, that the incidents that resulted in this charge, that there were.
In which charge?
I'll start with the domestic violence. That with those charges, that there was a more complicated situation. I believe the officer said, the report says something to the effect of, and this would also go to the property, that there had been physical altercations between the two of them, fighting between the two of them, and breaking of objects between the two of them. So I believe that there's more to this than said. The allegations of the domestic violence are the one of the shoving, and also I believe Mr. Hopkins taking his own computer back from the complainant. That's the second allegation of the domestic violence. And the resisting and obstructing is, the allegations are that Mr. Hopkins, not that Mr. Hopkins turned around and slammed someone or punched them or anything, that he pulled away. The allegation is the officer fell and that caused the injury. And then that officer fell, yes, as he pulled away. And then subsequently, 4 officers who were, some of whom just pulled up on the scene in the video, all ran after him. And that's where the resisting and obstructing comes. And he did, in fact, eventually stop. It was not, it's not as if he were in a vehicle and went miles or hours away. He did stop running, and he did, once they complied, once that occurred, there were no further incidents. So.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, that is not the characterization of the R&O. The allegations include him punching 2 officers in the face, breaking free of their grasp, causing them to fall to the ground, twisting and seriously injuring an officer's finger. And then it went on for such a period of time that an officer had to point and deploy a taser.
Your Honor,
and that another officer had to point their pistol at a defendant. So at the defendant. So at this point, I don't think it was him passively.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to view the video.
Did you watch the same video I did? Because I honestly don't understand how this defense attorney can say all that with a straight face. She claims the guy just punched one officer, ran away, and then calmly cooperated afterward. But the state says something completely different, that he punched 2 officers, twisted one officer's finger so badly it caused an injury, and a gun had to be drawn during the incident. That's not a small difference. That's a huge gap, like night and day. At T best, she's twisting the truth, and at worst, she's lying straight to Judge Simpson. I get that she's just doing her job, but seriously, what she's saying doesn't sound believable at all. Prosecutors don't just make stories up, and everything she's denying is right there in the police report. This guy is clearly dangerous, and pretending otherwise is just irresponsible. I don't think the jury is going to fall for it, and I doubt Judge Simpson will either. We'll have to wait for the jury clips to see how it plays out, but honestly, whose side are you on so far? Because this defense attorney is driving me nuts.
Well, you had an opportunity to view the video.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, when
I think that's either yes or no. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, as soon as the officer saw him, she
Mr.
pointed the taser at him. This is not, as soon as she saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not a situation where he was running and pointed the taser.
I didn't ask that, Ms. Gaines. I did not ask that.
Yes, sir.
Was the taser deployed?
Yes, it was.
Did an officer have to draw their weapon?
I did not see that. I could not see that on the video.
Ms. Burrows, are you indicating an officer had to draw their weapon?
That is what was indicated to me in the file, Your Honor. Yes.
And then there's an officer that's injured. Again, we'll ask the question. I don't know why this individual's out.
Again, Your Honor, he's 20 years old. He has no prior history, and he has no reason to come back to Washtenaw County other than for school in this case. It's my understanding. I have not heard any information that he has had any contact with the complainant, has violated any orders. He is just asking to be able to go to work and to be able to get a job and go to work. Your Honor, would you want to hear from Mr. Hopkins' father, who's present?
I don't know what he could tell me at this point in time. I'm more worried about the bond as it originally is set. Does he have prior convictions for anything?
No, Your Honor.
That the original domestic was about. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because I'll just tell you, I have some serious concerns that this escalated to a point that officers are having to deploy a taser, pull their weapon. And there are clearly enough officers around to, in my opinion, have subdued this individual without having to do all of that. So something else is going on. And
Your Honor,
I also have, I mean, one's bad enough, but I have 2 counts of domestic violence.
again, Your Honor, one of them is him taking back his own computer. That's one of the allegations. And that's why I'm saying there were things that were happening before this. That's not to excuse his behavior. That is to say that there's broader context. And in my view of the video, initially there was 1 officer, then there were 2, and he ran from 2, but as he's running from those 2, there are cars, 4 and 5 cars are pulling up with sirens on an unarmed young man who clearly panicked. This is not someone who's had police involvement, who has a history of contact with law enforcement and the criminal justice system. Again, I'm not excusing, but I do think that there's more. I think there are more nuances to this than the prosecutor does.
Well, explain some of those then. Because I've got a victim of a DV that's injured.
She is not the domestic violence person is not injured. It was the shove and the taking of there's no injury to her.
Domestic violence are 2 misdemeanor counts.
That is
the felonies here are 5 counts of are 5 counts.
Yeah, I see that.
Are no causing it.
Maybe I misread that on the report, but
Yes.
the injury to the finger that's the officer.
That's correct.
Thank you. I don't understand this. I mean, there's a lot I don't understand. How, and I get there are resisting and obstructings that are filed that some may look at as questionable in terms of the charge. I get that. But I'm also trying to figure out how an officer gets injured, that there are punches to the face of officers. I mean, Ms. Gaines, I don't get it.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm saying I did not see any punches to the face when I observed the video.
I don't know what it is, but I just can't believe this attorney's excuses. Her whole attitude feels more like she's trying to cover up the situation than tell the truth. She's trying to make this guy look like a victim, but the reality is he attacked 2 police officers and tried to run away. Her story doesn't add up at all. And this isn't some small misunderstanding, it's an actual crime. The state's version of events isn't just serious, it's honestly pretty scary. He punched 2 officers. Imagine if those had been regular people, who knows what else he could have done. I really don't think someone like this should be out on the streets. He clearly can't follow or respect the law, and that's just basic common sense, not paranoia. I know some people might say I'm being too harsh, but seriously, how bad does it need to get before someone like this is locked up? Anyway, I'm curious, whose side are you on? Because to me, it feels like almost everyone agrees on this one.
Tell you what, I'm certainly not changing any conditions. Can you explain to me one reason why I shouldn't raise his bond?
Your Honor, he has appeared for every court date, and he has not picked up any new charges. He has not had any contact with the complainant on the domestic violence or any of the officers. My understanding from him is that he has only come to Washtenaw County for court. He does not even reside in this county. It does not appear he's a flight risk, nor that he is a danger to the community. He is here with his father. He has come to every court date, and he's highly responsive to my calls and texts. And absent the no offer in this matter, we'd be looking to resolve it.
Anything else from the people?
No, Your Honor.
You know what? I'm not changing his condition in the bond. I'm not at this juncture gonna up his bond either, although of rights I should. Of rights, I don't think he should be out around tethered or not, given that behavior. But I'll let Judge Perry deal with that after she hears the preliminary examination. Bond will continue. Motion for bond reduction or changing condition is denied.
Thank you.
He's 20 years old, accused of domestic violence, and then went on to attack 2 police officers. That's not just young and dumb behavior. I honestly don't get how the defense attorney tried to use that excuse. Hearing her say he's just a kid was painful. You don't get a free pass to hurt people just because it's your first offense. What really stood out was how the attorney kept stumbling through excuses that didn't make any sense. If the best argument she can make is that he needs to go to work when he doesn't even have a job, then she's clearly run out of good points, and honestly, I can't help but wonder where his father is in all this. Raising someone who thinks they can attack police officers without facing consequences is a failure on so many levels. Violence against officers is something courts take very seriously, and trying to downplay it only makes the legal system look weak. In the end, I think the attorney hurt her own credibility more than her client's reputation. But what do you think? How long should he spend in jail for this? Thanks for watching. I really appreciate all of you.